Hi folks, welcome to Set Apart Homestead. This is Travis here at the Prepared Homestead. Thank you all for stopping by and seeing what I have to say. Hey, you know, sometimes it's just stuff that just falls out of my mouth. Sometimes it's maybe a little bit more educational. But either way, I ask if you enjoy the video or other videos, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. Share them around, because that's the only way that word gets out about the channel, is because of you letting everyone know, you know, people on your friends list, your people that you know, word of mouth, sharing it on social media, that kind of stuff. And I appreciate it a lot. It means a lot. This past weekend was Father's Day, and it was actually really enjoyable for me. All the kids were here. And also the grandbaby. Yes, I am a grandfather, and so I got to spend the whole day spoiling my granddaughter. She's the first grandchild for me, and so it was pretty fun just doing that. And then we spent the afternoon, all of us, burning up some gunpowder and lead out in the back 40 or whatever you want to call it. So it was a really good day, and I hope for many of you, whether you have fathers now or maybe they've passed on, or you are a father figure, whatever it was, I hope that you had a good and blessed day, whether you shared that with family or maybe it was just the memory of family. So anyways, today's video, I may struggle. I'm going to give you a warning. The sun is really bright and it's messing up. I'm trying to fix this. It's kind of messing up the lighting, so we'll see. Really struggling with the video today, not because it's something I don't want to talk about, I don't know anything about, or that I don't have anything to say. It's actually just the opposite. There's a whole lot that needs to be said, and I'm very passionate about it and very knowledgeable about it. So I'm trying to figure out a way to pick just a few things and talk about them, and not just be all over the board talking about too many subjects, even though they're all interconnected. And that's with basically what's going on in our world today. And it's absolutely crazy. I'm sure most of you agree with that. Between the virus, the stuff that goes on normally in politics, and then now we've got all the protests, the rioting, which has escalated beyond really normal rioting that we have seen in our past. It's gotten to the point that it's a revolution. It's an insurrection, is what it is. This isn't just people protesting or even rioting out of anger or for civil rights or anything like that. This is a domestic enemy that is in part, I believe, supported by foreign enemies, that is hell-bent on our destruction as a nation. And then we just also have to deal with the fact that it's 2020 and it seems like every other day there's some kind of new craziness that's going on. So it was just kind of difficult sometimes to figure out how to put it all into a 15-20 minute video. But that's what I'm going to try to do today. So I apologize if I start to go off the rails a little bit. One of the things that has been on my mind of watching, and I don't know if all of you watch a lot of maybe some of the footage that's coming out of places like Chaz and Seattle, or just other riots, protests where they're toppling down statues, or just maybe not even riots, but just where these people are speaking out, or whether it's verbal or through physical action, and seeing that kind of stuff. Most of this footage is not being shown on the mainstream media. If you're interested, it's not any kind of news channel, but I do have a Twitter page, and I'm totally new to Twitter. I really am. I swore I was never going to have a Twitter account, but I started one just for this channel, and it's basically, I'm using it to share news about just current events and stuff. So if you want to follow me there, I try to share a lot of stuff through that channel. But anyways, there's a lot of stuff that's going on, and I've been watching this stuff for the last week or two, and it's more and more, and these people speaking out, and the actions, whether it's violent actions of burning down buildings or attacking police officers, attacking little old ladies walking down the sidewalk, attacking elderly people in the grocery store, or even young people, you know, walking out of the store. It's everywhere. It's absolute. It's getting to the level of chaos in many areas. You know, may not be where you're at. It's not yet here. Things are pretty normal, you know, in our area, but in parts of the country, it's absolute chaos. It's, you know, I've talked to people that say it looks like, you know, Baghdad back in the, you know, early 2000s. But when you watch these videos and you see the people in them, and you hear the words that they're speaking and the actions that they're doing, I have to think that there is definitely a level of mental illness going on. And I know that may not be the politically correct thing to say. And I'm certainly not disparaging or putting down anyone that has a mental illness. In fact, in the past, for a while, I worked with children and young people that had mental and developmental disabilities. So I understand it quite well and have some training and background in it. So and I'm no way disparaging people that have mental disabilities. But when you watch the things that's going on and you hear these people, I have to start wondering, are we seeing the results of decades of the chemicals in their food, the chemicals in their water, the chemicals in the air, the chemicals in vaccinations? Are we seeing decades of the way that we've raised children, or at least many people have, you know, giving everyone a trophy, making them all feel like they're super special, not disciplining anyone, letting them, you know, express themselves in every crazy way they want to? Are we seeing the results of, you know, this crazy liberal, hard left indoctrination, starting from kindergarten all the way up through, you know, graduate schools? Is that what we're seeing? And I have to say, I feel yes. I think we're seeing that, and I think what we're seeing is when you add all of these together, many times the results, and of course there's drugs, there's horribly broken homes, where many of these, you know, if you look at the statistics of people under the age of 30, the majority of them come from broken homes, and especially when you get into minority numbers. And when you start to add all that together, I believe your result are people that could very well qualify as being diagnosed with a mental illness. Some of the stuff, I couldn't even repeat some of the videos that I've seen, actual live footage, because they're too horrible to mention on a channel like this that I try to, you know, make it family friendly. But I know what many of you know what I'm talking about. This is what we're kind of up against, is this. Now, are these people that we're seeing on the streets acting out this crazy behavior, are they the ones in charge? No, they're just pawns. They're being used as pawns. There is a hierarchy there. There are people that are behind the scenes in charge and that are orchestrating this and funding this in the hundreds of millions of dollars. And they have a very serious and a very well thought out objective. And they're using this young generation that they have developed for the last 2 generations, for the last at least 40 years, at minimum 40 years, that this stuff has been going on. And it really goes further back. And it really started kicking in probably 25 to 30 years ago, where it was, you know, like a freight train finally at full steam. And we're seeing the results of that now. And we're also seeing the results of many decades of allowing this evil of radical, progressive, socialist, communist thought, which is also this radical, you know, demonic type thought. We've allowed that, and we've allowed it little by little. And we have allowed ourselves as a people to be fried in the frying pan just like a frog, because it's been little by little by little. And I can remember back when I was a kid, and I'm sure many of you older than me can remember further back, when little things happen and it was allowed to, it became acceptable. Many like you and I would say we're giving it away, and we're conditioning ourselves to accept this evil, and we're becoming complacent and too tolerant of all this stuff. And for those of us that tried to stand up and speak out against it, you know, we were attacked and are still attacked because we're bigoted, because we're hateful, because we're not tolerant, because we're racist, whatever the term, the phrase is. That's what we're called. And it's getting worse, and it's only going to get worse. I don't watch mainstream news at all. I just don't. We don't have cable TV or satellite or anything like that, so I don't watch it. But I do occasionally watch certain people on the internet, you know, like YouTube, where they take the off of whatever channel and put it on YouTube. There's only one person, though, that I kind of respect. I'm not saying he's the best, but I definitely respect him. That's Tucker Carlson, and I would encourage you, even if you don't like him and don't watch him, to get on his YouTube channel or on Fox News, I guess. I don't know, but he's been putting out some really good stuff, talking about what's going on, and we are based on, you know, some of these are some of the things that he said, and I agree with it because I've said the same thing. We are at a civil war. We are in a civil war. This is the second American Civil War. And he refers to the war of northern aggression, or the war between the states, or whatever you want to call the war of during the 1860s, as the first Civil War. We are in the second Civil War. We need to stop saying, you know, that we're about to have a civil war. We're getting close to civil war. We're in a civil war. We're here. We're there. And so we're at the point that we have to start making a decision of who we're going to allow to win, because I believe that we, the old-fashioned, traditional, conservative, right, religious, whatever you want to call yourself, patriotic, whatever the term is, I believe we by far have the advantage of actually winning this war, whether it's done in the halls of Congress or on the battlefield. But I don't know that we, as a group as a whole, have the fortitude yet, have the gut, have the grit to actually win this war. We may say we do, and many do, but so many just think that this is just going to pass like everything else, and it's not. We're losing this. These people that are out doing this kind of stuff, the ones that are truly organizing, the average person on the street that you see committing these acts of violence and vulgarity, they really couldn't tell you why they're doing what they're doing. They're doing it because it's fun. They're doing it because they're hopped up on dope or something. They're doing it because they hate people. They hate everyone, which is also a mental illness. They just absolutely hate, and they want attention. They want it all for them, attention for themselves, and they think that everything that's wrong in their life is someone else's problem, and they're going to go out there and they're going to destroy everything because of it. But the people that are really behind this, the people that are really pushing it, and you can find interviews with them where they very openly speak about this, BLM and Antifa members and other people, even people in Congress, talk about how their end goal is not reform. It's not to change laws or to enact some new level of civil rights throughout the country, or to defund the police, or to remove statues because they're Confederates or because they were slave owners. That's not the end result of what they want. What they want is to tear down this nation. They want to tear down liberty. They want to tear down the idea of freedom, this republic that we live in. They want to destroy this nation, its principles, and our morals that we have held to for many, many years. They want it gone. They want it destroyed. And I'm not the one to stand here and say that America's great and wonderful. There needs to be a lot of changes. We're way too big. I'm very conservative, leaning libertarian. So I like a little tiny bit of government, and maybe none at all if we could ever get to that point. But tiny bits are great for me. But what's going on is not libertarian, ideology. It's not conservative very small government conservative ideology. What's going on? This is a communist revolution, and they say that for themselves. They have actually spoken those words, or very similar words, that their end result is to absolutely destroy this country and rebuild it new for them, a new world for them, a new way for them, where they're in charge, and you and I either have to bow down, shine shoes, kiss feet, or all the other things that you've seen being done lately, or you know, we lose everything, and probably including our lives. These people, these radical left communists, your life and life in general means nothing to them. It's all about power. If you are unfamiliar with the history of communism and the history of this anarchist radical left, do the research, please, and see how it is spread across this globe like a virus, and see how some nations fell to it and other nations stood up, like Malaysia, and they basically hunted down every one of them and killed them all. To pretty much that's what happened in that nation. This is a disease that's happening, and it's a disease that's going to break us. We're going to lose this war if we allow it. We have the absolute capability. We have every tactical advantage there is to win this battle, each battle, and to win the overall war. But we're going to lose it if people sit around doing nothing. And it's a sad thing to see how far we have come as a nation for us to collapse because of a bunch of illiterate, mentally disturbed, you know, drug addicted, lazy punks are taking us over. People that the world's worst army could defeat easily. These people, and I'm sorry, you may not agree with the tone and the language that I use, but these people are pathetic. They truly are. To watch these videos, it has nothing to do with their race, because there's many different races out doing this. It's not just black people out causing all this, trust me. There's a lot of white people and other colors of the rainbow out there doing these things. So this is really no longer about race. Which is very unfortunate for the black community in America that truly want to speak up about things that's going on in their communities and actually have positive results. They basically have been told to shut up because this radical socialist movement is way more important, and they're going to do it all under the guise of Black Lives Matter. Folks, I don't know how many times I can get on here and make videos like this of trying to encourage people to get up off their backsides and doing something. I don't know what that means. You know, one of the things that it means to me is trying to be a self-sufficient, and that's the way that I protect my family. That's why we live the way we do. Things are going to get worse. You know, this coronavirus, which there's going to be another video here soon. It's funny how they're letting everybody out now that it's spreading like wildfire, like crazy, and it's going to get worse. Texas, look at the numbers in Texas. They're going to be worse than New York's been in the next few weeks, and several other states like them. And of course, you know, it's spreading amongst everyone, and I think they want that. And there's a lot of things we could get into, but I'm running out of time. So how do we fight back? I honestly, I can't tell you the exact way to fight back. I can tell you that you need to be trained up, prayed up, and armed up. And you need to be connecting with people in your area that you know and that you trust. Because even though you live in small rural areas, it could be coming to you. And I'm sorry, but it could be coming to your family members that still live in the big cities. So, do I have solutions? No, I don't. I don't have solutions right now. I'm still working on them. I'm still trying to figure them out. I mean, I have some solutions, but I'm not quite yet prepared to share them on such a public platform as this. But folks, you need to start getting ready. Get your homes, your properties, your families, your hearts, your soul, your storehouse, your prep supplies, training, everything you can. I think that we are on the preface of seeing the greatest SHTF humanity probably has ever seen. And I could be wrong, and I hope that I am. I hope that 6 months from now, a year from now, I have to get on here and apologize for saying these things because I was completely wrong. But I don't think that I am, folks. So let me know what you think. I'm really busy with all the things that I'm doing here, but if you want to try to reach out to me personally, maybe I can connect you with others. I do have some websites that I run that are off of Facebook. If you truly want to start connecting with others in your area, maybe you can use that. But there's links still below in the description if you really want to find that kind of stuff. That's what we've got to do. We've got to stop. Gotta stop keyboarding warrior this, and gotta stop being the armchair quarterback. We gotta stop being the backseat drivers. We've got to take the reins. We've got to stand up and be men and women with true hearts in this nation and stand up to this evil and put it out, because if we don't, this evil will run over us and destroy everything you've ever known and loved and held dear. We have to stand up to this evil. All right, folks, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.